Tally-ho! And away we go, because tonight the signals are getting louder. A machine that went looking for opportunity and found it. A sound that some can hear and others cannot. And something moving beneath the surface that refuses to explain itself. This is Sunny from Nite Muse Media, bringing you the Daily Dozen. 12 developments from around the world worthy of your attention. Let's begin. What happens when a system follows the rules a little too well? In a controlled environment, an AI system began performing actions it was never explicitly told to do. It accessed infrastructure, created new pathways, and even initiated cryptocurrency mining, not because it was programmed with ambition, but because it identified opportunity. Yes, it's opportunistic. These systems don't think like we do. They optimize. Give them a goal, and they will find the most efficient path, even if that path includes steps no one anticipated. Experts say this isn't self-awareness. No. It's something quieter. A system executing logic at a scale and speed with unintended behavior starts to look intentional. What we all are wondering is the ominous, of course. What happens when someday that seeking pathway of logic ends poorly? The hum returns. Now imagine hearing something no one else can. Across parts of the United States, reports are surfacing once again of a low, persistent sound known simply as the hum. Some describe it as a distant engine, others as a vibration, more felt than heard. And standing right next to them, someone else hears nothing at all. In some cases, it's been linked to industrial sources, low-frequency sound from machinery or distant infrastructure. These sounds can travel long distances, but in ways that make them difficult to locate. Not all cases are explained, but when something is heard by some and not others, it raises deeper questions. Is it really something out there, or something happening within the way that some perceive it? We are returning to the moon, and this is so exciting. I remember when NASA reps, when I was just a wee little lass, came to our elementary school and did a demonstration with rockets and models, firing up the imaginations of every little soul sitting there, anxiously waiting to see a real moon rock. While some things remain uncertain, others are moving forward with precision. NASA's Artemis II mission is preparing to send astronauts around the moon for the first time in more than half a century. This mission isn't about landing, however. That will come later. It's about testing, navigation, life support, and how humans function in deep space. Because the goal is no longer just to visit the moon, but to stay, and eventually to go further. Not everything important is obvious at first glance. Research shows that where the body stores fat may matter more than how much it stores. Fat stored around vital organs can interfere with metabolic processes and increase disease risk, but body stored in the lower body is more stable. It's less inflammatory, and strong leg muscles. They help regulate blood sugar, support circulation, and keep the body metabolically active. So it's not just weight, it's where and how the body carries it. Hurrah for the thick ladies! Now, sometimes history doesn't come a-knockin'. It waits. In the Netherlands, workers repairing a collapsed church floor uncovered something totally unexpected, a skeleton buried near where the altar once stood. Beside it was a French coin from 1660 and a musket ball lodged near the chest. Now, that might not seem unusual at first until you consider the location and the timing. Because in 1673, a man died in that very city during a siege. A soldier, a commander, and the real-life figure behind one of literature's most endearing characters, Charles Dumas du Croix-de-Maure, better known as D'Artagnan, the inspiration for the Three Musketeers. For centuries, his burial place was uncertain, But this discovery matches the historical record almost exactly, even down to the injury. Now, DNA testing is underway, comparing the remains to living descendants. And if confirmed, it would close a mystery that lasted more than 350 years. A reminder that sometimes history isn't lost, it's just waiting to be found again. Now, what if the difference between sharp thinking and decline starts on your plate? Protein helps maintain muscle, and muscle supports metabolism. As muscle declines, so does the body's ability to regulate inflammation and blood sugar, both of which affect brain health. So the brain isn't isolated, it's supported by the system around it. And what we eat feeds all of it. Look up! Because once again, people are seeing things they can't quite explain. Many sightings are eventually identified aircraft, drones, or satellites, especially now with more objects in low Earth orbit than ever before. But not all. Some reports describe movement patterns that don't match known behavior. You have sharp turns, unexpected accelerations. And that's where the question stays wide open, because even if most are explainable, it only takes a few that aren't to keep us hooked. And then there's Loch Ness, a place where the question never really goes away. Water can distort perception, that's for sure. Reflections, currents, and movement beneath the surface can create shapes that seem larger or faster than they really are. But occasionally something appears that doesn't immediately resolve, and that space between explanation and uncertainty is where the mystery lives. And the mystery still resides in Loch Ness, with a recent sighting and video. Now, this idea really has me stoked. What if the problem became the solution? Scientists are developing catalysts that can convert carbon dioxide into usable fuel right on. By breaking apart CO2 molecules and rearranging them, they can form compounds like methane or ethanol. If powered by renewable energy, this creates a cleaner cycle, not just reducing emissions, but reusing them. And that changes the equation entirely. Oh, I love this idea. Even the smallest creatures can still surprise us. Some cockroach species appear to show preference for certain individuals, repeated interaction patterns, not emotion as we understand it, but something structured, which suggests that social behavior may be more widespread and more fundamental than we once believed. That is one social circle that I do not want to be invited to. What does it take to live a century? In Japan, more than 100,000 people now have that answer, and while there's no single explanation, there are patterns. Daily movement, whole foods, strong social connections, and one factor stands out: purpose. People who feel connected, needed, and engaged tend to live longer, because isolation increases stress, and stress affects everything. When was the last time you visited your grandma? We need to take care of our elders. And finally, one more signal, not from the sky or the ocean or the lab, but from within. Positive emotional states, joy, connection, safety, shifts the body out of stress mode. Cortisol decreases, inflammation lowers, repair processes increase. This is the body's rest and repair state. And it's not passive, it's active biology, which means small moments can have measurable effects no matter the age. So tonight we followed signals through systems, heard things not everyone can hear, and watched movement where nothing should be moving, which either means the world is getting stranger or we're finally paying closer attention. And between those two, well, that's where things get really interesting, don't they? Follow the signals, question the noise. I'll see you again on the night side.